Hi there. I am Jennifer Elizabeth Masters. I am a soul sculptor. I help women break out of the mold of past trauma and heartbreak so that they can chip away at anything that holds them back from health, happiness, and wealth. I am a recovered depressed person. I am recovered from codependency, fibromyalgia, Epstein-Barr, codependency. Let's see what else I can name here. There was a time that I was in such fear that I was frozen. I was afraid of men. I was afraid of my mother. I was afraid of my father, afraid of the dark. And today, none of those things hold any energy for me any longer. Oh, yes. And let me add, I've also overcome narcissistic abuse. Yes, my mom, my mommy. And, I detailed all of the story as it was in 2011 called Odyssey Victim to Victory. And since then, I've gone on to write five other books, and I'm about to publish the fifth one that is pretty fun and exciting. It's called It's All Bullshit. And I'm here to announce tomorrow night on BBS Radio, bbsradio.com/SOS. I am having my second show, and it is all about depression and anxiety. So I invite you to join me at 8 p.m. California time. So it'd be 11 o'clock Eastern time tomorrow night. It's live. You can call in and ask questions. Okay, just wanted to let you know that. So if you could share this video to your page, that would be very helpful. I think hello there, Jax, how are you? There's a lot of people today that are having issues with depression and anxiety, and that I'm not one of them. Okay, where are we? So I'm just going to find this page and share. And so I overcame depression. Took me a little bit because I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't have a coach. I didn't have a healer to work with me. I didn't have anybody to guide me. I was riding blind. And I did try the Prozac route, but I'll tell you that it didn't help. It made me numb, and I fell asleep at the wheel and nearly ended up dead as a result of taking Prozac. So I went off it cold turkey, and then I did it on my own. And so, yes, I have written about it, and I detail how I did it in many blog articles. You can Google Jennifer Elizabeth Masters and depression, and I have a slew of articles. I also have videos on YouTube. Okay, so let's talk about what depression is. I would love it if you could share anybody that's on there. I'm going to share this here to my story. Okay. Yeah, I'll be right with you, everybody. Hang on one second to a page. Okay, so what is depression? And where does it come from? If you were to ask a doctor, and I've asked plenty, and if you research like I have, doctors will tell you they have no idea where depression comes from. Does anybody have a clue where depression comes from? Anybody? Okay. Okay, I'm here with you now. Okay, so where does depression come from? Well, okay, it comes from sexual trauma in childhood. It comes from emotional abandonment by our parents. It comes from narcissistic abuse by a parent, having a parent who is alcoholic or a drug addict, being adopted. All of these are ways that we were abandoned emotionally. Now, a lot of us were abandoned and our parents were there, but they didn't know any better. They were busy and they felt that children should be seen and not heard. I mean, that's the generation that I grew up in. And and so I'm just going to see if I can see what's going on in the chat here. Okay. Hola, hola. No, I don't want to navigate away from the page here. Here, stay on the page. Sorry. I start pressing buttons and then yep, repressed anger. Ding, ding, ding. Jax, you win a Cupid doll. And it's Jax's birthday today. Core wound issues. Yes. Okay, but it's not just the wounding. It's yes. So we could get wounded and not have any reaction or any story about the wounding. It's when we create, and this is what I was so adept at. I created this incredible story about what happened to me, and of course we do. When we are hurt and wounded, we create a story. It is the reaction to the event that creates it, not the actual event itself. So I'm going to repeat that. It is our reaction to the event that creates the trauma. So two people could be raped and one person could get up and go, hey, it's just a matter of life. It's what happens. No big deal. And then another person could go, oh my God, I'm so angry. I was violated, and then go on, which they're all ways are valid. However we respond is valid. But the point is that when we have a sexual trauma in our childhood, we have core wound issues in childhood, and then we can't express our anger. We can't express the rage. Most of us as children were told, put up or shut up, or I'll give you something to cry about, or don't complain. And in my household, not only was I molested in my household by several different people, an uncle, a brother, and I could go on, but there's a lot of it in my household. And not only that, I also got victimized physically, thrown against the wall, and nobody protected me. So we have this helplessness. And when we are helpless, nobody comes to our aid, no matter what we say, no matter how we cry, no matter how we ask for help, and no one helps us. That creates anger and rage. Okay. Pre-birth trauma. Doug, absolutely. Absolutely. All pre-birth trauma too, because when we're in the womb, we may not be wanted. We may be coming at an inopportune moment. We may be wished away. There's a lot of different things that could happen before we're even born. And in my case, I was a girl. My mom didn't want a girl. She wanted a boy. And that happens a lot, that we are the wrong sex when we're born, and we know it and we feel it. Okay. So rape, sexual trauma, core issues, abandonment, all of these things create repressed anger, which we then stuff. And we stuff it, and we learn to be really adept at stuffing it. It's a wonder we're not all walking around like sausages, right? But we stuff it with, let's see what all the things that I stuffed it with. Oh, my mother is calling me. Look at this. My mom. Talk about, this is fun. I'm sorry. So my mother is calling. Oh my goodness. So when we're told that we cannot express those feelings that we have, then what happens? We have to stuff it. We stuff it with sweets. We stuff it with maybe sports or sex, or it could be food. It could be alcohol. It could be drugs. It could be it could be any matter of things. It could be an activity. Maybe, I threw myself into sports in high school and in junior high. I did every possible event that I could do, and it kept me away from the house. That's what I did to work out the anger. But eventually, what happens is that it bubbles up. If we get into our 30s and 40s and we haven't done forgiveness, if we haven't forgiven ourselves for the events that magnetized it to us, if we haven't forgiven the people who perpetrated these things, our parents and any abusers, if we haven't forgiven those people, we carry the burden. And so this depression continues and it becomes greater and greater. And then, of course, there's all the lies that society tells us, that we get a good education and you'll be happy. Get a good education and you'll get a good job and you'll be happy. Get married, you'll be happy. Have a kid and a house and buy a new car, you'll be happy. And what comes to pass is that we start to understand that all of that is bullshit. It is not true. Those things do not make us happy. Happiness comes from within us. It doesn't come from anything external. It's all inside of us. None of that brings us the joy or bliss or happiness that we want. So I'm just going to look here to see. Okay, how are we doing here? Being preborn and premature, no touch. Oh, wow, that's a really good one. Oh, wow, Star said she wasn't wanted and her mom told her she wasn't wanted. Star, I'm so sorry. That's awful. Oh, hello. Okay. So yes. Yes, my mother knew. Hello, Karen. Hi, everybody. Okay. So I just want to reiterate again, one more time. Tomorrow night, I've had a theme song created for my show. It was recorded by Danny McGaw, my favorite musician in Ojai. And he's from Manchester, England. He's a singer-songwriter. So I am unveiling my theme song on my show tomorrow night. It's on bbsradio.com/SOS. And the SOS is Soulfully Observant Sage. It is sassy, orgasmic, soulful person. It's a lot of things. So hang on a second here. Okay. All right. So are there any questions about anxiety or depression, or how to heal it? So I'll tell you what I did in a nutshell. I began to love myself. That was the first thing that I did. And I stopped the killing thoughts. So many of us, it's like, what's wrong with me? What's wrong with me? I have counseled thousands of people on many different issues, and the overarching question that is debilitating for all of us is, what's wrong with me? And when we ask that question, the brain, the supercomputer that it is, will find something. You give the brain something to do, it will find an answer. And your brain will tell you, well, you're not good enough, you're not pretty enough, you're not slim enough, you're not sexy enough, your hair's too short, or your hair's too thin, or your ass is too flat. Your brain will tell you all kinds of things. And none of those are the truth. Now, here's the thing. We can be happy no matter where we are. I am blissfully happy in the middle of a COVID, whatever this thing is, quarantine. I'm blissfully happy in the pouring rain. It's funny because I used to have SADS, that not sudden infant death syndrome. It's the one from too little sunlight. I grew up in Canada. It was winter for 9 months of the year. And then we had summer for a month. And then next thing you know, it was fall. And so that, just about killed me. I found that darkness through February and March. It was just really debilitating. And so that cyclical lack of sunlight can cause depression too. We need vitamin D3. And we've had, let's see, liquid sunshine in California since Sunday, and it hasn't affected me one bit, which, hey. So how do we get over depression? A little bit at a time. There's a couple of things that I will tell you that really solved the issue for me. Number one, we have depression, and I'm going to get into anxiety in a minute. We have depression when we focus on the past, where our focus and attention is on what has happened in the past. And that was what I glorified. I glorified the story of woe from my past. I told it over and over and over. And you got the picture, right? I told it so many times, and I was wallowing in this self-pity. That's interesting. I was thank you for the words. Okay. All right. So I will invite you to the show. I got you. I got you, Doug. I guess you're going to go, and that's good. I'll send you the invite to the show. Okay. So yeah, this seasonal affect disorder. Thank you, Jack. So focusing on the past is what keeps us depressed. And we have to resolve the past. And how do we do that? Well, there's several different steps that I took. I went and had hypnotherapy done, and then I became a hypnotherapist. I found that energy healing helped me, so then I became an energy healer. I took the courses, I learned, I studied, I researched, I did a parasite cleanse, and I highly recommend that everybody does a parasite cleanse, and it could be very simple, just black walnut and wormwood in a tincture. A tincture is a little bottle. I have one. Where is it? This is not it, but it's something like this. It's in a bottle like this. It's black walnut and wormwood, and it's a really easy way to kill parasites. Why am I talking about parasites? Because it is often the cause of anxiety. So if you have anxiety, I would do a parasite cleanse. If you eat lettuce, beets, celery, carrots, potatoes, sushi, you need to do a parasite cleanse. If you eat chicken, beef, or fish, you need to do a parasite cleanse. If you eat food, you need to do a parasite cleanse. Do you get the impression here? Everybody gets parasites. And if you don't do a parasite cleanse, by the time we get to 40, we've got 1 million of them. No wonder so many people are running around with these big bellies. And candida and parasites, all of those things can create an imbalance in our body. So yes, we have to take care of the physical form. It's part of it. And if our gut is out of balance, we're not creating enough serotonin. And so making sure that we're not living on a diet of Dunkin' Donuts and coffee. We have to have a balanced diet, because too much candida and an upset microbiome in the gut, which is where 95% of serotonin is created. True story. Look it up. Don't take anything I say as face value. Okay, so Magus is saying, I can't remember where I saw this, but the past and future hold stress for us, so we have to live in the present moment for as long as we can. Well, yeah, that's what I do. I mean, ever since 2012, I've been in the present. So If we focus on the past, we are depressed. If we focus on the future, it creates anxiety. So why are so many people today anxious? Well, they don't know what's going to happen. Oh my goodness, the stores are closed. When will they open? When's school going to open? When am I going to get a paycheck? How am I going to make money for my rent or my mortgage? Or how am I going to go grocery shopping tomorrow? Will they have toilet paper tomorrow? All this worry on the future creates anxiety. And when we live in the present moment and we're okay with whatever, so I'm happily living in this moment. Boy, my screen keeps flashing at me. I'm happily living in this moment now with whatever is going on because I know it's eventually going to end. It's happening for a reason. Everything does, right? Yeah, there's a lot of other things. There's other agendas going on, but I'm not focusing on them. I'm not watching the videos that everybody's sending me. So stop sending them. All right, my dears. I love it when we're in agreement. And so, like Jack Sparrow said, we have an accord. Okay, so I'm going to repeat this. Focus on the past, you're going to have depression. Focus on the future, you will be anxious. If all you focus on is the past and the future and you cannot live in the present, you're screwed, basically. So how can you change that? Well, let's just do a little exercise right now. Okay. Rub your hands together. This is going to be interactive. You think you're going to just sit there and do nothing? Oh no, hell no. Okay. Hands together, hands in front of the chest. Okay, let's breathe together. Hands in front of the heart. This is the heart chakra here. Can you see what I'm doing? Okay. Breathe, take a deep breath, and we're breathing into the lower belly, the lower abdomen. And relax the shoulders and exhale. Okay, one more time. Exhaling. Doesn't that feel good? Okay, one more time. And I've got candles. Can you see them? I have candles lit and they're starting. Look at that. I can dance in my chair. Speaking of dancing, let me tell you what came through today very strongly. When I was a little girl, age 5, my mother put me in ballet, tap, and baton. And I did very poorly at the tap and the baton, but I loved the ballet because ballet had pretty costumes, pretty shoes, and I liked the idea of being a ballerina. So I dropped the other two and I continued with ballet for quite a few years, and then I started playing the piano. So interesting, right? My mother was like, take this, take this, take this, take this. And so always not good enough, right? And that's the other thing. So if we focus on, I'm not good enough, I don't dance as well as she does, I don't look like she does, I can't be on my toes like she is. Every time we compare ourselves to someone else, we create anxiety for ourselves. Take another deep breath. Every time that we compare ourselves to someone else, and it could be this: I'm living in a townhouse. I feel like I should have a bigger house right now. I feel like I should be further ahead. I feel like I should have what she does or what he does. Why don't I have that? Why don't I have this? And I have clients like that their focus was, I'm not married to the right guy. I'm not in the right house. I should be further along. So whenever we do that to ourselves, what we are doing, we are collapsing our energy field, which is like 3 feet around us. For some of you, it's really close. It's much smaller, but for others of us, we have an expanded field because we're taking up more space. And that's what I encourage you to do. Take up more space. So take a deep breath and expand your territory. Whoosh. Expand your territory. Doesn't that feel good? Whoosh. Take up more space. So take another deep breath. I'm going to check the chat here. Okay. All right. So the deep breath, most people that are unhappy with their lives, that are unhappy with themselves, are barely breathing. They are breathing shallowly and breathing from an inverted place. Instead of breathing from their belly, they're breathing from their diaphragm, so they cannot breathe fully. And that's another reason why so many people are having issues with lung stuff with this pandemic, whatever you want to call it. Okay, so key ingredients. We have to love who we are as we are rather than wait to love ourselves when we have the perfect job, when we're making enough money. The idea is to love yourself unconditionally, which means you love yourself in the state that you're in currently, not tomorrow, not next week, not when you've reached the perfect pay grade or you have the perfect amount in your bank account or you're at the perfect weight. No, the key ingredient is to love yourself as you are right now, today. Okay, how is everybody? Oh, your chest hurts. Okay. So speak to me a little bit about that, please, if you would. I don't love the fact that your chest hurts. What's going on? What is it? So I did a big energy clearing last night after the meditation class, and I'm teaching another class next Wednesday on intuition. This is a free master class. Um, I have a lot to say about intuition and channeling, and so I highly recommend. It's absolutely free. Next Wednesday, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. So next Wednesday, I'm doing another masterclass. All right, so what is going on? Okay. Yes. Okay. So Star asked, will we ever get to the place where we breathe easily, deeply without thinking about it? Well, here's the thing is that when everybody comes to a place of loving acceptance of all that they are, and that means the shadowy parts, the parts, your rage, your anger, your insecurity, your jealousy, the dark parts that you don't want anybody to know about, the parts that where you might be a raving bitch one day and you don't want anybody to know that. So coming to loving acceptance of who we are as we are, you begin to breathe normally. It is part of the autonomic nervous system. In other words, it happens automatically. However, where this low breathing or shallow breathing comes from is when we are not standing in the truth of who we are. And I've had a lot of people, a lot of dissenters. Like I have posted some things that make a lot of people uncomfortable. And I'm telling you that I am going to be doing that more and more. I am here to kick your asses, not to agree with everything that you post. And if I don't agree, or if I post something that I believe in and you disagree, you're entitled to your opinion, but I will stand firmly in my beliefs. And now doesn't mean that if you show me something to disprove what I believe, that I won't adopt your belief. But what I'm here to do, I'm a catalyst for change. I'm not here to placate you. I'm not here to sugarcoat it. That used to be my motto. I don't sugarcoat it. And so, okay, let's see what else we got here. All right. So I'm going to just do a little energy sending here. I think I'm going to put some music on. What is that? Does that feel good to you all? I'm going to send you a little love energy here. So hang on with me. I am still here, everybody. If you have any questions about anything. Okay. This is what I want. Oh no. Oh God. Okay. All right. So if you could just relax and uncross your arms and legs, and I'll just send you a little energy. Well, I posted something and my sister-in-law demanded that I remove it from Facebook. And that's not going to happen. You know, hey, threaten to hate me? I'm good. I'm good. I don't need anybody else's love to love me. You can threaten to not love me. I'm still good. And see, that's where everybody wants to get to, so that no matter what, we still are grounded in this, loving this, happy with who we are. That's the key ingredient here, folks. So I'm calling upon liquid fire. This is my healing modality that was given to me. I downloaded it. All right, you guys, I have to keep putting my glasses on to see what. Okay. I love you guys. Thanks for being here. Okay. All right. So I call forth liquid fire. I call forth the healing energy of the angels, life force, forces of light, angels of light, guardian angels. I call forth all of you all to help me with this, for everyone to heal whatever needs to be healed. So just breathe, relax, drop your shoulders. Make sure you're sitting upright. I feel like I'm lopsided. Looks like one shoulder is higher than the other in this. I don't think they are, but that's what it looks like, and maybe it's the chair. Okay. I think it's what I'm sitting on. All right. Yeah. Still, that's weird. Okay, breathe. Lovely deep breath. Nice deep breath. So I'm supposed to encourage you all to dance. Today I started doing ballet. I used to do that in the desert, and I was looking for my videos. I've got videos of this somewhere. I was going to post them. I've got the brave sense to do that, so that you can, I don't care, you can laugh at me, I don't mind. But I used to dance in the desert, and I started dancing here in the rain, and it was amazing, the grace that flowed through me. And I don't mean that I was graceful, far from it, but God loves it when we dance. Grace will flow through you. Now, what is grace? Oh gosh, it's pure energy, love, light, beauty, power. And so I'm just going to say another thing that's happened here in the last 24 hours. I'm going to be giving on a much deeper level. All is well in my world. All is well in my world. My body knows just what to do. Me feeling good about me is not dependent on anyone else. Someone's rejection of me does not diminish who I am. It only speaks of who they are. I want you to breathe that one in. This is not just for one, this is for many. Breathe that in. Someone's rejection of me does not diminish who I am. It speaks volumes of who they are. It does not reduce me in any way. So we have got to fill ourselves up. Our cup must be running over, not half empty. Runneth over. Fill yourself with love. Dance. Find joy somehow. Okay. I hope you've enjoyed this. I've been sending energy. It's been beaming from my heart to yours. I hope your heart feels better. Take another deep breath, everyone. Okay. So the forgiveness piece is very important. We need to forgive ourselves and forgive everybody else. That's important. But we also need to release the anger. And there are many different ways to do it. Gosh, I used to yell at my kids all the time. Yeah. I didn't know any better. My parents yelled at me, I yelled at mine. You know, it's the old domino effect. Okay. How are you all feeling? Are you better? Do you feel better? Okay. All right, you guys. I'm going to go. It's dinner time, feeding time at the zoo here. The zookeeper is hungry. I love you guys. Don't forget my show tomorrow night on BBS Radio SOS. I'm taking live callers at 8:30. So the phone number, you want to get the phone number in advance. I will be posting that. The same. Okay. All right. I got you. Okay, so apparently you have some crying to do. What was interesting? I want to know. Inquiring minds want to know. What did it feel like to you? How did that feel? Did you feel anything at all? You're welcome. What did you feel? I'd like to know. Thank you all. Did you feel anything? Okay. You're welcome. Happy birthday, Jax. We shall sing happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. That's terrible. Happy birthday, dear Jacqueline. Happy birthday to you. All right, everybody. I love you. Thanks so much for being here. Share this when it's done, would you? I appreciate you all. See you on my radio show tomorrow night. got to find out how to turn you all off. I love you. Peace to you all. Oh, good. Oh, this is good. I like that. I like that. Peace to you too. Happy birthday. Bye, everyone. Mwah.